guys, it's Lizard here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about whether or not godbridging gives you a competitive advantage in your Hypixel Bedwars game. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the advantages and disadvantages of godbridging and seeing which outweighs the other and whether or not you should be applying it into your games. I have a lot to cover in this video, so I really do hope you guys enjoy it, but yeah, let's get right into it. As a lot of you probably know, I do a lot of godbridging. I have like 100 hours on MC PhD. Sad, I know, but I have it nonetheless, and I also do a lot of godbridging on Hypixel. Now, I feel this gives me the right to talk about this kind of thing because godbridging is a huge advantage when it comes to speed and taking your opponent by surprise. Alright, I can see this guy's already bridging for us, so I don't think we have time to go for a godbridge. The reason for this is another thing: if you fall off a godbridge or godbridge rush someone who's already beating you in distance, chances are they're going to knock you off and you're going to fall off into the void, and they're going to have this huge bridge that you've already created for them that they're going to be able to use. Okay, wait, no, die. He called me bad. When you godbridge, say I godbridge this distance, and this guy goes up, he's going to be able to knock me off and just run across my whole bridge full sprint, which is going to give him a massive advantage, and it's something that we definitely don't want. Boing. Hello? Yeah, you didn't expect that, did you? No, you didn't. You're terrified. Yeah, I know. Whoa! Alright, while I sit and forge for a second so I can grab enough gold, I do want to talk about how important consistency is. If you're gonna godbridge first rush and you fall into the void, you've basically already lost your bet, and you're basically throwing the game for yourself and giving yourself a huge advantage right off the bat, and it's something that you definitely can't have if you want to start winning more Bedwars games. Provided you're pretty consistent, godbridge first rushing is usually going to give you an advantage if you take the right amount of blocks. Okay, wait, die. I might die here. Oh, I actually got him. What the heck? Okay. Whoa, I almost fell off there. Consistency is very important because your opponent will take full advantage of you if you fall off, and you definitely can't be having that in order to win your first rush. But also, godbridge first rushing can be a huge disadvantage if you end up falling, but in modes like 3s and 4s where you have your teammates to cover for you, it's not going to be as bad because you will be able to... Okay, hello. Yeah, I think I can just finish this guy right here and continue on in the next game. Alright, GG. As I was trying to get at in the last game, essentially in 3s and 4s, you have a lot longer to bridge, and if you can godbridge, you're actually going to give yourself a huge speed advantage and probably get to the middle before your opponents do. In 3s and 4s, you also have the advantage that if you fall, you're not punished as harshly because your teammates can help cover for you and save you in case that if you fall in 3s and 4s, you usually have a teammate that can cover for you and continue on with the bridge and help you progress while you're still respawning. In solos and doubles, this is not the case, however, because you are basically relying on yourself or your teammate to get across, and that's going to give your opponents a huge advantage to push against you, and it's definitely not something you want. Break his bed. Die! No! That sucks. Alright, let's get this guy out of the game, shall we? I don't really have any words. Relying on your teammates to finish bridges for you because of your inconsistency is definitely not something that you want to be doing. Forcing your teammates into continuing your bridges almost every time is not something you want to do if you're trying to godbridge because you're basically just giving your opponents a massive advantage. Oh, crit out. Dead. Boing. Alright, we got this guy's bed. Do we win the fight though? No, he's like one tap. No. If you're falling to the void on a repeat, you're basically throwing the game for yourself or your team in general. You're making your opponents have a distance advantage on you because you're allowing them to cover more ground with just a regular speed bridge. Another thing about the speed of a godbridge that I want to talk about after I knock this guy into the void, hopefully. Okay, GG. Another thing I wanted to really bring up is how fast really is godbridging. Now, obviously, godbridging is marginally faster than most of the other bridging methods you can do non-shift, except, of course, tellybridging, but that's not very practical in Bedwars for many reasons. When you're going to speedbridge, say I want to speedbridge right here, it's not going to take me very long to set it up on the edge, and I'm going to be able to get started right away. Say I wanted to godbridge here, however, I'm going to have to line it up, get it very perfectly on the edge of the block, and that's going to take a couple seconds. And depending on how long that actually takes me, I could be making my bridge take longer than what a regular speed bridge might take me. If you're going to be trying to godbridge, you do want to make sure that your setup for a godbridge is quite fast. Okay, hey. Whoa, calm down. Thanks for letting me gap. GG. If your time to set up a godbridge is very fast, then it's probably worth it to godbridge, especially on your first rush or in game modes like 3s and 4s. It is going to give you an overall advantage. If your setup takes longer than about 4 or 5 seconds, I'd say, give or take a little bit, you're probably not going to want to actually godbridge due to the fact that your speed bridge time will actually be a lot faster overall than what you would get with your Godbridge. Another thing we must take into account is Hypixel houses a lot of people at once, and it's hosting a lot of Bedwars games all at once, and it can tend to be quite laggy, and sometimes Godbridging every once in a while doesn't quite work out. For this reason, Godbridging isn't always as consistent or as reliable as many other bridging methods such as speedbridging, and you want to make sure that you're being quite careful as to... Okay, wait. Technoblade? 1v1 versus Technoblade, hold up. GG. With all of these inconsistency factors into account, your Godbridging isn't really going to be as reliable as you'd like it to be, and for this reason, Godbridging isn't always a competitive advantage, because if you end up falling, if you do end up falling off of your bridge, your opponent is going to have a massive advantage on you, and it's not something that you want to be just leaving for them. The last point I wanted to talk about today, if I make this TNT jump, whee! Hello. I'd actually like if you went off the edge there. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you very much. Okay. So as I was saying, the last thing I really want to talk about today is in fact going to be the distances you're trying to cover and which bridging method is the most worth it for that scenario. Now, what I mean by this is, let's say for example, I just lost my bed. But let's ignore that, and let's say for example that you are trying to cover like a 35-40 block distance, and you want to be able to do it as efficiently as possible for your team in fours. If you're consistent, Godbridging might be the move, and it might allow you to have a big advantage over your opponents at getting around the map faster. However, if you're in a solos game and you're basically on someone's bed and you're like 10 blocks away, Godbridging is not going to be your best option. Provided you fall off into the void, you're going to be pretty heavily inconvenienced, or even if you don't fall off, you might fall down onto their island, or just drain your blocks for absolutely no reason. You want to be very conscious of the scenarios you're using Godbridging in, because it's not always the right choice. Okay, these guys are like on each other, and I have to kind of get to green base, it looks like. Okay, we are on green base. He's over there. He sees me breaking his bed, whatever. I'm sorry, I had to do it. Provided the scenario you're in is actually good for Godbridging, you probably do want to end up using it. I do think Godbridging does provide a competitive advantage, especially due to the fact that in games like solos and doubles, your opponents usually take a while to get out of their forge, and you can usually first rush them and get a big advantage. You don't want to give your opponents any advantages to use against you. Okay, wait. Can we beat this guy? Die, die, die. If he jumps, he's dead. He pearled. Okay, this man's fancy with it, but alright. The biggest thing I'm trying to get at right now is just to be aware of how you're using Godbridging in your game. Godbridging can bring you a lot of advantages, but like many other things in this world, can bring you a lot of disadvantages. You don't want to give your opponents any reason to rush you or any positional advantages, and for this reason, it's not always the most worth it to... Should I push this guy right here? Definitely has a fireball. Hello? Hello? Die, die, die! Toss! GG! Alright, so I think I got my point over pretty well there. If you enjoyed this video and you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing and maybe hit that notification bell, because I do a lot of live streams and I do plan on starting to actually get like a schedule down for my live streams, so if you'd like to tune into those, I do a lot of Godbridging, I do a lot of open parties, make sure to hit that notification bell, and also join the Discord server in the description, because I'm very active in it, and it's just a really, really good time. There's a lot of really, really great people I've met in there, and it's super, super nice, so please consider joining that, and also follow my Twitter. That's gonna end it for today, so I really, really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.